Hi there! In today's video I would like to show you how you can use HTTPS on localhost with the PHP built-in web server. So here you can see that I have a website running at localhost and it's HTTPS and the connection is secure. And I'm also running the PHP development server. And here I have a website, the same website, running at somerandomdomain.com, and again it's HTTPS and the connection is secure. And I'm running the PHP development server. So how did I do this? Let me show you. We need this beautiful little tool called mkcert, which you can find here on GitHub. This allows you to create random SSL certificates for any domain you want, and they will be trusted on your local machine. So here are the installation instructions. So I'm on Linux, so first I have to install the libnss3 tools. So you can use this command to do it. So let's do that. Now, of course, I already did this before, so nothing happens. And then you have to install the actual mkcert. And you can use Homebrew to install it if you use it, but I don't use it, so I need to build it from the source. And it's pretty easy. So you first have to install the Go compiler if you don't have it, so you can build it. So let's install that. And of course I already have it because I did this before. And then we have to clone the GitHub repository. And then we will change into that folder. And then we just build it with this command. Now, we can't just run mkcert now, because it's only in this folder. So we can use this command to make a symbolic link of the mkcert binary to the user bin folder. So if we do this, then we should be able to run it. So we first have to run mkcert install to install the root certificate of mkcert, so that the certificates will actually be trusted by your machine. So let's run that. And I already have it installed, so nothing happens. And then we have to create a certificate file. So this command does it. So we have to specify the key file. So this is the file where we're going to write the private key of the certificate. And then the cert file is the certificate file. So you can just put them wherever you want. And then the last part is the domain for which we're going to make the certificate. So right now we're just making it for localhost. So let's do that. Alright, so now we have a localhost certificate and it's valid until March 2025. So now if you have Apache or Nginx or something like this on your machine, you can just use these certificate files and put them in your configuration of your server, and then it would just work. But the point of this video is to show how to do it with the PHP built-in web server. So you can be just in any folder on your machine and then run a server from that folder. So the PHP built-in web server doesn't support SSL. So we have to use this tool called stunnel to do it. So stunnel creates like a SSL secure tunnel from one port on your machine to another port. So we can forward an SSL port to the PHP web server port. So let's do that. First we have to install stunnel. And you guessed it, I already have it installed, so nothing happens. And then for stunnel, we need to create this bundled certificate, because mkcert creates the key file and the cert file. So we have to combine them, and it's just a simple cat command, because you have to just put them in the same file. So that's done. And now it's a good idea to set the correct permissions for your certificate files. So let's do that. And now we are ready to run our PHP server. So let's do it. I just chose a port 8080. You can choose whatever port you want. And now, if we go here, we get a not found message because I didn't change to the right folder. So let me go to... Alright, now I'm in the right folder. So let's run this now and go to localhost 8080. And here we have the website. But of course now we are not HTTPS. So how do we fix that? Well, we can use this command. So we're going to call the stunnel program And the F parameter just tells it to run in the foreground. So normally stunnel runs in the background, but then it's kind of difficult to stop it afterwards, so I want it to run in the foreground, just like this PHP web server. And the D port shows what port to run the stunnel in. So this is the port that you're going to put in the browser. Now I have 8090 here, but actually you can just put 443 here and then you don't have to use the port because SSL is 443 by default. And the R port is just the port that you use for the server. And then the P flag tells you where is the certificate file. Now we can't just stop this PHP server because it has to be running in the background. So let me open a new terminal here. And let's run this command here. So now I get this message, address already in use, but this is not an error message apparently, because it works. So now if we go back here and we change this to HTTPS and remove the port, then here we have a beautiful localhost website with HTTPS. And the connection is secure. Perfect. Now we can take this a step further and set our own domain for the website. So let's do that. So I will stop this and I will change all the local hosts to a domain of my choosing. Let's say mycoolwebsite.com. And now if we create a certificate for mycoolwebsite.com and we make the bundle for it and we set the permissions and the server is already running, you don't really have to put the domain here. And then we run stunnel with that certificate. Then we can just go to mycoolwebsite.com and it doesn't work. And the reason for this is that we have to add it in the hosts file of the machine because of course this domain doesn't point to our machine. So let's do that. So here we just have to add 127.0.0.1 mycoolwebsite.com. And then we save this and let's try again. Now we have the website here and it's at mycoolwebsite.com and HTTPS. And connection is secure and we are still in the PHP development server. So now it works. But now let's say we want to run a WordPress website here. It's a bit more complicated for WordPress. So let me go to a folder here where I have WordPress installed and I will start the PHP web server here. So now if I go back here, it's loading and it opened, but take a look at the address bar. We are now at 8080 and it's not secure. So what's going on here? Well, WordPress has an automatic redirection to the actual URL of the website. So it will redirect me here. So how do we fix that? We can fix it by adding some lines of code into the WordPress config. So let's go there. So here in the WP config file, we can add these lines. And of course, we have to change this to the actual port that we want to use. So mycoolwebsite.com. And then let's try this again. Now, there's a problem here that, first of all, you can see that it did not go to the HTTPS site. And I got this Ubuntu default page here. Now, the reason why I get this is because I have Apache installed on my machine and it's listening to port 80 on my local machine. So actually by going to this website, I go to the Apache default page. Now the reason why this happens is even though we are connecting through HTTPS to the website, the server HTTPS variable is not set to on. So then WordPress thinks that we are not using HTTPS and then it's gonna redirect us to the HTTP website. So we have to add this line as well in the WordPress config. So let's do that. Now let's try again. Now there's going to be another problem here because Chrome will cache the redirection, So it's actually not checking the HTTPS address anymore. So let me open this in an incognito window, so it should work then. Now we get this beautiful WordPress website here. And we can log in. Beautiful. So now it works. So now we have a WordPress website at mycoolwebsite.com with HTTPS, and the connection is secure. So why would you want to do this? Well, one reason is if you are testing a WordPress website that has a payment gateway that sends the customer to another website and then back from there to your website. A lot of those APIs don't allow you to send the customer back to a localhost site without HTTPS. So this allows you to do that. So now if I have a payment gateway plugin in my WordPress website, I can just send it the return URL of HTTPS mycoolwebsite.com, and then it will send the user back there. And of course the user is me when I'm testing, so then it will come back to my website. Now I went a bit further with this already, and I created this script called servit. And this creates the certificate for a domain automatically, and then it adds the domain to the hosts file, and then it starts the PHP web server, and then it starts the stunnel, and then after you stop it, it will delete the domain from the host file and remove the certificate. So now if I link this to the user bin folder, then I can run this anywhere on the machine. So let's say we go to the WordPress installation here, and I run servit. So it will tell me how to use it. So I have to put in the domain, and then the server port, and then the stunnel port. So let's say servit whatever website.com, and the server port will be the port of the PHP server. So let's do 8085 because I already have this 8080 running here. So let's do that, and the stunnel port will be the port that we use in the browser to connect. So let's put the 443 there, and then let's run this. And now it did all of this automatically. So now if I go instead of mycoolwebsite.com to whateverwebsite.com, then I have my WordPress installation here, and I can log in. Now here we have a bit of a problem, and this is because I didn't change the URL of the website in the WP config. So if I change it here to this, then it should work. Great, now it works. And actually I can just put here the HTTP host, so it's going to be whatever the host name is at the moment. So if I go here again, it still works. And now if I want to change it, so let me say, actually I want to have it whateverwebsite2.com, and then I will go to whateverwebsite2.com. It works, and it's HTTPS, and connection is secure. Perfect. Let's try to log in here. And it works. Perfect. So if you want to use this code, you can find it in my GitHub, which is linked in the description. And I hope you like this video, and let me know in the comments if you have some questions or if you know a better way of doing this. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more videos like this.